Reminder, or better said, gentle reminder. This saying is very common in the corporate world these days. But something like this reminder comes into our lives, and in a very terrible way. What I see will not only be remembered, but will be remembered with fear. And that fear will be remembered as a fact. What I see will not only be remembered, but will be remembered with fear. And that fear will be remembered as a fact. Today's experience was shared by an anonymous listener. I am starting today's episode by honoring his wishes. Name, birthday. The rest of the incident is in his words. My father is also somewhat involved in this incident. Before I was born, my father migrated from Murshidabad to Calcutta in search of livelihood. Somewhat inclined. There was no job at that time. My father's own aunt lived in Kolkata's Ripon Lane, and he loved his father very much. There was no place to stay, so father went to aunt's house. Aunts lived on the second floor, and a room right next to the stairs leading to the second floor is the father's hideout. After that, father got a job in Wellington. After a few years, the salary also stabilized. Sometimes he was thinking of shifting to another place. But when the aunt came to know about it, she created a lot of noise. He also threatened to stop eating and drinking. As mothers do, what else? Father necessarily stayed there. Then the wedding took place as usual. I was born after 3 years of marriage. I have no memory of my aunt, because my aunt died when I was 2.5 years old. Cancer was diagnosed, and it didn't take long. Aunt died within 4 or 5 months. I heard from my parents that my aunt loved me very much. In the end, he could no longer walk. Mother used to drop me in her room in the morning. I used to go down there after taking bath after afternoon. We stayed in this house for almost 7 years, even after my uncle died. Every year, on my aunt's birthday, my father used to go to pray at a mosque near our house and regularly fed the poor people. As much as possible and what? Although I don't have much memory. I've seen my father's aunt's photo many times in the family album, and seen every time. Father's eyes are wet. Praying at the mosque on birthday and feeding the needy were 2 things that father never forgot. Several years passed after my aunt passed away. I joined the school. The pressure of studying increases. Mother used to sit in the morning and father in the night. I was probably in class 3 or 4 then. Couldn't go to school because of fever. I'm sitting in the room next to the stairs flipping through a storybook. It has been raining heavily since that morning. A good part of the stairs could be seen from my bed. What are those 3 or 4 steps? I'm looking at the book upside down that day, and sometimes I look up when there is a sound of footsteps on the stairs. Suddenly there was a loud thunder very close, and I was surprised. For some unknown reason, my eyes went straight to the stairs, and looking at that, I played the shock. To him, the voice of the bet is nothing. I saw with wide eyes. Father's aunt is sitting on the step of the stairs. Although I don't remember anything else, I clearly remember his bright red eyes. He is sitting on our stairs and looking at our room. And needless to say, the center of attention. I heard from my father that he loved me very much, but there is not even a drop of love in this look. There is a lot of anger. One more thing. I didn't understand then, but I understand today. That is brutal violence. I saw that while looking. He pointed a finger at me with his eyes on fire. It was not possible for an 8-year-old child to bear so much. I screamed and cried. Mother ran out of the house. He came and saw me lying on the bed. Mother brought back my consciousness somehow with tears in my eyes. He called my father. When he suddenly got a phone call, he returned home in a panic. I heard from my mother that I could not speak properly for a long time. The phone number of a doctor known to father was written on the back of the calendar. While taking it out, he saw something and fell down again. Then he waited for me to become normal. As soon as I regained my composure, he asked again what exactly had happened. I said, I saw Aunt sitting on the stairs. Hearing that, father shook his head and said, It's our fault. Today is Aunt's birthday. We have completely forgotten what we do in other years. Maybe that's what he came to tell. Then the rain increases, but Father went out in that calamity. After that, as long as we were in that house, I never saw that scene again. However, the incident was in my mind for quite some time. Once upon a time, sitting or lying on the bed, I used to stare at the ceiling. No, I used to look at the street through the outside window. I haven't had the courage to look at the side of the stairs for a long time. In a strange way, I knew from childhood that this was my home. I could not think of going anywhere else. But after that incident, the house did not like it anymore. And when my father talked about his sister-in-law, my whole body would shiver. Maybe after understanding my thoughts, he left the house within a few months of the incident.